So let's start with the most important part of today's event, which is the prepared speech round. For this, I would like to welcome Bipin, who will be the speaker one. And I also want to call upon his evaluator, Mohsin. Mohsin, can you please read out his speech objectives?
Am I audible and visible?
Yes.
All right. So my speaker, Toastmaster Bipin, is attempting his icebreaker speech from the Pathway Dynamic Leadership. The purpose of this project is for the member to introduce himself or herself to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. Timer, please note that the speech length is 4 to 6 minutes. I wish my speaker all the very best.
Great. All the best, Bipin. So when I asked Bipin about his most favorite memory during his college, he told me it was during his Viva exams, wherein, everyone was pre-prepared that sir is going to ask so-and-so questions. But at the end of it, whatever questions which came were totally different. So you know that your teachers can also outsmart you. That is a learning. Yes. Bipin, are you ready?
Yes,
Zoom master, please spotlight on Bipin. Bipin, can you see the timer cards?
Yes.
Okay. Bipin, what's being cooked? What's being cooked, Bipin?
Thank you. Many times things happen to our surprise, which is already being put behind. In my 20s, I was in a perception that I can be deployed as a CEO of a company and I will perform outstanding at all the stages. It happens, right? In our early 20s, we have that supernatural energy, and I don't know from where it comes, but I'm sure you all will echo with me. Being graduated as an engineer, I joined a company which was expert in real estate, and this company used to be into consultation, construction and operations of the project. Started working with a huge project. I was deployed as a part of commissioning team, and post that commissioning, I got a chance to work as an operations team for that same project. While all these things, I had a secret desire to meet the project owner, because of him, we all were getting our bread and butter. And one fine day, I got a call that the project owner has called you. I was surprised. I cross-checked with him. My name is Bipin and I had engineering department. So he said, yes, Bipin from engineering department has been called. And while my pathway, I was preparing what to speak and how to behave with this gentleman. And then I entered the room where he was sitting. I greeted him, good morning, sir. My name is Bipin and I am from engineering department. After seeing at me, this guy started yelling at me. And it was to my surprise. I was totally taken aback. My ears turned red and it was hot. And this was the first time it was happening with me. Post that, he alleged that I had put a password in a diesel generator. And that is the reason there was a power outage in the facility. Well, this was not true, because I knew that I was running the facility. I knew that there was no power outage at any instance. My dream and my confidence of becoming a CEO was under trash, and it got into a lace of a peon. I tried to explain him, but I got expelled. This was the first day when the strong boy started crying. And it went for 2 hours. The next day, I got to know that it was a part of conspiracy. The client was not finding, the client was finding our services costly. That is the reason all these things were put. The story is not ended yet. After this, I was deployed in Mumbai with a new similar kind of project. Here I had my boss. And this guy, after the second day of my joining, he started humiliating me like anything. I started cursing my destiny that what is happening with me. And this is happening back to back. But then I couldn't quit. I went ahead. I said, I will invest extra time in my daily routine. And I worked for 16 hours to match his expectations. But I couldn't. I felt that all my efforts are going into a trash. This was the second time when I missed my train from Bandra to Titwala, the place where I used to stay. I had never felt this thing. And it was 1 a.m. at night. I had not had a meal and everything was closed. After searching, I got a biscuit, Parle-G. While putting that first bite inside my mouth, I started crying. I felt that what is happening with me? What is being put behind? And I was completely unaware. And then next day, I planned that I will work on my boss's KRA rather than my KRA. And things turned around. The other day, my boss took me to a bar. Okay, there after getting high, he told me, Bipin, you are working fantastic. And I will confess that, at your place, I wanted my relative to be, but you were deployed directly, and that is what I was having a grudge. So he confessed this. After being, I hated these two guys in my life, but again, I'm very thankful to them for teaching me the life lesson at a very early stage of things being cooked behind and office politics. This event is indelible from my last chapter. And today, after a few assignments, today I am leading a region as a technical lead in JLL. And of course, my confidence of becoming a CEO has got a rise, and I have got that super energy back of my 20s. Over to you, Toastmaster. Thank you.
With that, may I invite our first evaluator, Mohsin, to the virtual stage. Mohsin will be evaluating Bipin's speech. Mohsin.
Hi, Jeevan, am I audible and visible?
Yes, Mohsin, loud and clear. Mohsin, evaluator one, Mohsin.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests, especially my speaker, Toastmaster Bipin. Now you see, Toastmaster Bipin, he cooked a fantastic, a delectable Matar Paneer dish for all of us. Now what are the three main components of a Matar Paneer dish? The Matar or the peas, the paneer and the gravy, each accentuating the taste of the other. The three amazing things that I loved about your speech, Bipin, was, number one, I admired the fact that you were vulnerable on stage when you shared the two moments where you cried when your boss berated you. It shows great strength to admit that, and I'm sure quite a lot of us related to the phrase when you said, the strong boy cried that day. Next, what I loved about your speech is showing the ability to introspect and your perseverant attitude despite failing consecutive setbacks. I'm sure it lit us a fire of inspiration within all of us when, despite being shouted at by two bosses in two separate projects, you didn't give up and kept moving forward. The last and the most amazing part about your speech was how you connected the speech title to this actual speech. When I first heard the speech title, What's Cooking?, I first thought it would be a speech about how you enjoy cooking, how you got into cooking, and you will introduce yourself to us in that fashion. But I was pleasantly surprised by the actual takeaway of the speech, where every situation could have something behind the scenes, something cooking behind the scenes that you have absolutely no clue about. Now, like every dish can be more flavorful, let us add three things to make it more spicy and more indelible for the audience. Number one, Let's add pepper. Let's bring your characters to life. You had two major characters, boss number 1 and boss number 2. Give them names. Give them characteristics. Tell us how they look like. Tell us what personality you imagined and the gap between reality and the imagination. Next, add a little bit of chili, make it more spicy. Add dialogues. You could enact the scene where the boss is actually shouting at you. You are the reason why this is happening. Or when boss number 2 and you are in the bar, him drinking and him having a short hand over his shoulder saying, man, you're doing a fantastic job. This imprints the entire scene in the audience's mind. And lastly, add salt for taste. Add a little bit of voice modulation, show a bit of more emotion, like cases where you were down in the dumps after the setbacks and you said, I was about to cry and I started crying. Lower the tone of your voice. And when you're enacting an angry scene, raise the tone of your voice. All in all, a fantastic speech, a great Matar Paneer dish. If you add these 3 flavors, I'm sure it would be these 3 seasonings, it will be more flavorful. I cannot wait for your next lasagna, pizzas, and burgers. Thank you, and over to you, General Evaluator.
The award for Best Evaluator goes to Mohsen and Jyoth. Congratulations, both of you.
Thank you, Abhiraj.
Thank you, Abhiraj. And congrats, Mohsin.
Congratulations to you, too.